Hello and welcome to the Happy Tans podcast. Today we have Anne Marie DeSalvo from Glow Sunless Tanning. How are you doing today, Anne Marie?
I'm doing good, Grant. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking, and thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm looking forward to a lot of insightful information.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So if you want to start off and just kind of give us a little background information, I know I kind of introduced you and your business, but anything else you want to provide about that would be great.
Sure. Yep. So like you said, the name of the business is Glow Sunless Tanning. We are actually located in Rochester, New York. This is going on our 10th year this year in 2017 that we've been in business. I started the business basically out of my car back in 2007. It was just something that I was going to do for friends and family, out of my apartment originally. And then I started having friends and other people that were friends of friends asking if I could come to their homes. So essentially, I became a mobile business pretty quick. And that was during the time of MySpace. So people started catching wind on MySpace and reaching out. So I did the mobile business thing for about 3 years and just got, really big and busy here in this area. We were the first mobile spray tanning business in Rochester, and 2010 and became an actual salon.
Okay, and sorry, Emery, after you said we got really big, it just broke up for a second there. So you were just saying that it just kept growing basically, and it turned into an opportunity for you to open an actual physical location.
Yeah, it didn't make sense for us to travel anymore. We were going all over Rochester. There was no rhyme or reason to the day because somebody needed us on one side of the city and then the other side of the city. So we were just, ricochet rabbit back and forth all day long. And we were driving more than we were tanning. So it was just, made sense to open up a physical location after growing the business for about 3 years on the road.
Yeah, that's awesome. And to think about that, you said 2007, MySpace. I mean, there's some flashbacks going on here. That was 10 years ago as I look today, January 17th, 2017. That's pretty crazy to think, that was that long ago and how far we've come since then. But that is a lot of hard work in the 10 years, right?
Absolutely. Lots of ups and downs, and but we made it, so it's awesome.
Yeah, very, very good. So on the note, you were kind of talking about ups and downs, and the next couple of questions I like to ask, kind of touching on, and feel free to go over both of these, the worst and the best entrepreneurial moments, because as anybody knows in business, there's a lot of ups and downs. It is a roller coaster. It's never always going to be, sunshine and rainbows and things like that. And people need to understand that during the hard times, you really got to keep the same attitude as you do. And for spray tanning businesses, obviously the seasons that we see where it slows down in the winter typically and it's busier during the summer, and a lot of people I feel like get down. So if you can kind of touch on both those, the best and the worst, I mean, that'd be great to kind of shed some light on that.
Sure. I mean, I have a couple. I mean, there's many ups and downs, but one of the first things that we did wrong, and I keep saying we, it was just me. I started the business. My husband is now my partner, but we started off as spray tanning only. And when I opened up an actual location in 2010, we decided to start adding other services to the salon. And we just, we kept adding these services and they weren't really doing that great, but we kept trying them. And we would try nails and we would try teeth whitening and we would try facials and waxing. I mean, everything in the beauty industry, we tried it, hair. And it just wasn't catching on because we were known as a custom spray tanning salon. So that was a lot of money and time and staff that we were going through. that kind of just put us back a little bit. And so that was one of our worst moments, I would say, was just trying to figure out our way with that salon aspect of it. And so, we went back to our roots and just do spray tanning, and we have focused solely on that now for many years, and we've just watched the business grow and flourish from focusing on just one thing. So that worked for us, to just keep our focus on spray tanning. Another bad situation, a few years ago, I was expecting for my son, my first child, and I had an unfortunate, really rough pregnancy, to where my doctor put me on bed rest for 6 months of my pregnancy. And anyone that knows me knows I am a workaholic. So now you tell me that I can't leave the house, I can't work out, I can't do anything except sit home. My business suffered tremendously because I am the face of my business. I'm at my business daily, making sure everything is ran properly with the staff. You have to be there. So I missed 10 months of my business, and we almost had to close the doors. So that was extremely hard, a hard time to go through. I mean, we were weeks away from closing. So that was probably our absolute worst moment of our.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it broke up again there, but I heard what you said that was the absolute worst moment, and that's pretty bad. That's really tough for you, seeing your business is kind of your baby, so to speak. Obviously, not your real baby, but it is something that you really, really put a lot of hard work into, and to see that almost happen, and that kind of expresses the how much you have to put into the people that you hire when you get to that point. That's really important to bring on the right people to help support that. And, like you said, you always have to be around. And for people that think that maybe they get to a point where they don't need to be around, that might not happen. But, it will vary a little bit from business to business. But for you obviously really are passionate about it. So you want to be there and see your clients and see the business succeed. So that's important. But to go through those moments and think you're, weeks away from closing and now to where you are, that's a far cry from where you were at that point.
Absolutely.
So as you've grown, I mean, this leads into the next question perfectly. As you've grown, what changes have you made yourself? I mean, I can imagine, obviously, when you first started out, it was just you, so you're doing everything, literally from A to Z.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's changed a lot. You said that you've opened a third location. You have, your husband working with you full time. So how has that changed for you on a, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever basis?
Sure. And one of the things that, once we got a handle back on the business after coming back from, having my son and taking care of him for a while to the point where I could step away again a little bit and get back to the business, a lot changed. We had policies and procedures put into place for the staff. Because they need direction. If there's no direction, they're not going to just do what you expect them to do. They have to have some sort of direction to follow. So we implemented policies and procedures and a handbook, rules and regulations, just so that there was more of a well-oiled machine in place, and that really wasn't in place before we left. So it kind of, fell apart, and it was our own fault. We thought we had great staff, but it kind of fell apart. So that was difficult. And, we've continued to evolve with the policies and procedures. We have monthly staff meetings. I have monthly one-on-ones with my staff. We love the fact that our staff can come to us and talk to us. We keep ourselves very available, and we don't call ourselves the boss. I actually don't like when my staff calls me that. We are working together as a unit. So when, we keep that open communication so they know they can come to us if they have ideas. We keep that communication open at all times, and we're really big on letting the staff know, hey, we're a team. You don't work for me. We work together. So those are some of the things that we've implemented over the years of making mistakes, and that's really helped out a lot. We do a lot of contests and team building. We go to different places and, have events, special Christmas parties and dinners and stuff like that, that has really helped out to just have everybody feel like when they feel good, they work harder for you and everybody wins. So
yeah, and they feel like they're part of the team. And there's, you touched a couple good points there. One, once people get to the point of hiring employees, I think a lot of employers, if you look at corporate America, however deep you want to look, they're all messing that up when it's just a number versus actually caring about these people.
For sure.
Keeping the quote unquote open door policy and having those people come in and actually caring about them as human beings is really important. And then as far as you said, maybe you had good employees when you were on bed rest, but not having the standard procedures and things like that. If people don't have something to do, then they're just going to go off what they know, which might not be what you're, up to your standards, so to speak. So, but investing the time into that work that's not quite as, sexy, and the policies and procedures is not as fun as spraying people and growing the business, but they're necessary things that have to be done. So
for sure,
that's really important to point out. So if you could pinpoint one thing that you've done well from the business from 2007 until now to grow it from, mobile and out of your car into a multi-location, custom spray tanning business, what would you say the number one thing is that has contributed to your success?
Actually, and it happened just in this last year, and that was adding online booking to our business. It has catapulted our business. We've seen about a 40% increase in sales since last year of adding that. Hands down, that has been the best decision we ever made, was adding that online booking piece.
Just frees up a lot of time, and people can just easily book, 24/7, 365. So no need for you to be there at the phone or at your email all day.
Sorry, I missed that. It cut out a little bit. What did you say?
I was saying, that just gives them the ability, 24/7, 365, and you don't have to be there on your phone or your email all day trying to answer and respond to people. Yeah,
yep.
That's really important.
We try to, people are busy. People don't want to talk on the phone. And, this system allows them to hop on, choose their location, their time, their date. They get an email confirmation immediately, text message reminder the day before, and it takes all of the back and forth emails or phone calls right out of the equation. And people like that convenience of being able to just say, at 12:30 at night, oh, I forgot to book my spray tan. I have a wedding this weekend. Let me go on right now and book that. So it's been an incredible add to our business.
Yeah, that's important. And with, like you said, people are texting and doing all this nowadays. They're not even talking to their friends and family on the phone, so they don't want to talk to a business, and they don't want to sit there and email all day. So the ability to schedule that quickly is really important for people. So that's a good implementation.
Yep. Plus, too, we're real big on before your spray tan, educating people on how to prepare for the tan. And then, of course, aftercare is just as important. We do that at the salon, during their appointment. But if whoever answers the phone would have to go through every single step that we want them to do so that their tan is perfect, people half listen. They only absorb about 3% of what you're telling them. They might be driving or at work. So, you're telling them, don't shave, exfoliate the day before, no lotion, no deodorant, something is going to be missed. So this way, if they're online, they can view it right after they book. It's right there. Sit down and absorb it. on their own time versus us rattling off a bunch of do's and don'ts over a phone call.
Yep, much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Much easier, and they can refer back to it. So
exactly.
That definitely helps. So under the next question, the next couple questions are around your equipment and solution. So
sure.
If you want to share that and just kind of talk about what type of equipment and solution you use, I'm sure you've gone through a variety of different things over the years, but if you want to share that, as much as you want to share, that'd be great.
Sure. Our first couple of years, we used something called Vanity. I don't even know if it's around anymore. It was not the best for us in our climate. It's real cold and gray, and everyone's pasty here, so that was just not a good fit for us. And then we switched over to Norvell, and that was better, but we actually were approached in 2009 by South Seas Skincare. Got some samples from them. They were amazing. We loved the product, and they actually offered me a national distributor position with their company. So I've been doing that now since 2009. So we are very loyal to South Seas Skincare products. It's the only line we carry. We love it. It works. It's all natural, paraben-free. But we have also ventured into some new solutions more recently, using unfiltered as well, which is a phenomenal product. So, and then we use the South Seas carries the Apollo equipment. We have silent systems, which are great for our locations because you're not screaming over the machine. You can have a normal conversation with your client. So the whole, waiting area doesn't hear what's going on. So we like the fact that we have quiet machines. So that's what we've been using now for quite some time, and we've never had problems, knock on wood. So, and then we use extraction fan booths in all of our locations as well, that we get from Saint Tropez.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Apollo's great equipment. Obviously, South Seas has been around for a long time, and Carla with Unfiltered, it's a newer product, but I've heard a lot of good things about that.
Oh, yeah.
So.
She's wonderful. The product's amazing. We're loving it. So
that's great. Look forward to keeping up with that. So for you, when you started, and I don't know what you've done since then, but did you yourself go through any training or certification? Did you teach yourself, all hands on?
Sure.
And how has that changed since you started?
So when I first started, yes, my friend and I, we got together, we sprayed each other, and we didn't quite understand DHA, so we just kept spraying each other until we were the color we wanted, not realizing it was going to deepen over the next 8 hours. So needless to say, I couldn't leave the house for a couple days. So I practiced a lot, and then for my first 2 years, and got decent. And then I did end up going through training at South Seas. They flew me out to Colorado, and I went through their training. And, my technique is very simple, but we always have really good results with it. And, everyone has their own technique. So I try not to get too caught up in, videos online and whatever. If it's working, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Sure.
So, but yes, we've done that training for sure.
Yeah, that's important. I think it's good to get training, and I say this on any of the episodes where people mention the training is a good foundation, as far as all that goes, and learning about the products especially is important. Haley pointed that out on one of our episodes that, she really had a deep knowledge of the products, which helped. But as far as the actual technique goes, everybody's going to find their own groove, and that's fine.
Sure.
I think a lot of people get caught up and kind of look for the next best thing in products and spray techniques and so on and so forth, and they could probably use that energy elsewhere. So. Absolutely.
Yeah. As long as the client is flawlessly done with, no streaks, and they're covered completely, and it looks natural when they rinse. However you get it on, whatever works best for you, great. Don't overthink it.
Yep, I agree. I agree. So I love this question. It's a good one. You'll have to think on this one for a second probably. But Anne Marie, if you could write yourself a letter when you were just starting out back in 2007, back in those MySpace days in your car, what would you say to yourself?
Probably be patient. I'm not a very patient person. I like instant gratification. My husband has really helped me with this over the years. Something that he has always said to me is, through the success, the money will come. So focus on the success, focus on growing the business and getting really good at all of the, customer service and, the technique and the making sure the staff and everything's on point, and in time, the money will come, because obviously at the end of the day, we all want to earn an income. And when you're working for yourself, it takes time. You just have to stay focused and be patient and know that if you just keep plugging away at it and that it's going to come in time. And I think for me, I was just super impatient, trying to do this and trying to do that, with adding other services. And I was just spinning my wheels and actually making it worse on myself until I just stayed really focused on what we're good at. And that was one thing, spray tanning. So I think that my letter would tell me to just be patient and stay focused on that and know that in time, it's all going to work out. Yeah.
I love it. Patience is a virtue. Everybody knows that quote, but it always rings true throughout any business. And, people getting into this and you try to be up front and let them know it's going to take time. You might not find the success you want this year or the next year. If you really want to do this, if you really, really want to do this, it's going to take time. So it's important for people to see that and understand that and hear that from somebody like yourself that's gone through this for 10 years and the ups and downs from almost, starting in your car to almost closing to, now you have 3 locations. Patience is a virtue, and that is so true. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you again, Anne Marie, for your time and for sharing anything. If you have anything else you want to say, or some people like to offer their email in case people have questions, you're more than welcome to. If not, that's fine too. But thank you again for your time.
Yeah, anyone that has any questions can absolutely reach out to me on Facebook, or you can email me at Anne Marie DeSalvo at yahoo.com. You can also find me through Facebook the same way. Yep, absolutely. I'd be willing to talk to anyone that has any questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much for offering that, and thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Grant. You as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you.